What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're diving back into the Grips conflict as we continue our coverage of Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta Define. Last time, Rekkawa met Kai Shiden at Jaburo, while the Titans prepare to lure the AEUG towards EFF HQ. Also, Quattro brought back a few pilots from Ambrosia. This time, we will see the Battle of Jaburo take place. Quattro and his team make moves at Jaburo while Bright handles Bask in Earth orbit. So let's get into this. At Jaburo, a Commander Eugene makes his landing. Moar Pharaoh has been assigned to help him with his mission. What is his mission? He is to blow up Jaburo, killing himself in the process. He seems comfortable with dying for the Titans, but he is here because he made a mistake in the past at letting the AEUG get past the Titans in the Shoal Zone. Bask has no qualms with sending people to their death. However, Eugene will be promoted posthumously, and his family will be taken care of. He is okay with this, but why is a young girl like Moar on a mission like this? She tells him not to worry about it. Back with Rekkawa and Kai, they have to send out a message, because she told Bright that Jamatov is at Jaburo, but Kai tells her that isn't true. They have to send out another message ASAP. Good job, Rekkawa. Of course, they are caught when trying to send out a new message. Moar traps him and informs Rekkawa that she leaked information to lure them. She also tells them that a nuke is dropping on this base and they are going down with it. Back on the Argama, Quattro tells everyone about the hunch he has. He believes that Shelly's team that launched from the Alexandria is a ruse to lure them in, considering they haven't heard back from Rekkawa. They could assume that she is already a prisoner. They still, however, don't know the Titans' true plan. Although risky, they are going to have to take the bait. However, they modify the plan slightly. Bask tells the Luxor crew that they will lead an attack force and drop down at a certain location. Yazan suggests that they have multiple drop points, but this upsets Bask. He goes, "Fine, I'll command it myself." He hangs up. The captain of the Luxor, Major Killian, tells Yazan to not upset Bask. "Yeah, man, do you want to become Eugene? Don't become Eugene." A random ensign on board the Hario talks to Paptimus Sirocco about their orders to attack the AEUG at Jaburo. Sirocco tells him to eventually ignore those orders. After the call, Major Ted Ayachi demands to know why he is talking to Sirocco. That is when the Major is met with a gun in the back. Everyone on board the Hario has pledged allegiance to Sirocco. Ayachi can either play the role of puppet commander, or they could shoot him in the back right now. Sirocco is quick to spread his influence now that he is back in the Earth sphere. His plan slowly starts to begin. Shelly touches down at Jaburo and meets with Moar. They are placing the dummy mobile suits throughout the base to make it seem active. It still currently has 500 working staff members. She knows about Eugene, and also knows that Moar once had a fiance named Steve, who died during the AEUG's attack on Green Noah 1, now Grips. She wonders why she is on this mission. Moar isn't obligated to answer that question. Shelly says that their mission is to service the base until the bomb is activated, but once that button is pushed, get everyone out of here and out of the blast zone. Moar says she will simply do what is ordered of her. Shelly isn't the person to listen to direct orders usually, so this frustrates her. Bright and Quattro talk before the mission. It would be easier if they could just blow up the base, but they don't want to be labeled as a terrorist and hurt the Earth. They simply want to stop the Titans' rule. Bright is a little concerned about being left in space out in the open, but the Radish will act as a space defense, while Quattro's mobile suit team is on Earth. Bright gets word that all of the Titans have been called in for this mission. They wish each other luck. Sumeri has modified the Zero Shiki to handle gravity. He must not push it too far. Quattro mentions that this will be a problem for the Titans' mirror size as well, as they are space-oriented mobile suits. Bright gives the orders to begin operation. Reentry capsule launch. Bask and the Titans notice movement. At the base, Commander Eugene is rubbing his hands menacingly while saying nothing matters. One guy is like, "Yo, what do you mean?" He says, "Ignore that and go back to your useless job." What? The advanced team finishes launching. It is time for Quattro's mobile suit team to commence re-entry. Shelly awaits the red mobile suit. Bask realizes that the AEUG's drop goes against the angle of Earth's rotation. Ouch, how much friction does that add to re-entry? He also notices that the Salamis-class ship, the Syria, is a part of the AEUG's fleet. This was the ship that was supposed to patrol the satellites mentioned briefly last episode, but it appears they are the ones who took out the satellites. Bask pushes all 11 ships towards the AEUG fleet. Quattro was right. They took the bait. They're being surrounded in 3 different directions. Bright moves onto the next phase of the mission, and all the Space Forces begin to engage in battle. Quattro and the team enters Earth atmosphere, losing a few men in the process. Shelly realizes that the more time she fights with the red mobile suit, the less chances she has of winning. She has to finish this now. That is when she spots Quattro. One of Shelly's men, Wynell, gets jumpy and shoots at the AEUG, but he hits a dummy balloon. Quattro sees the line of sight and shoots, taking out Wynell. Shelly and Jared jump out of the forest as they are exposed. Quattro gets a message informing him that their team is almost done taking the base. He knew something was up. Though Quattro knows that Jamatov most likely isn't here, he tells his team to look for him. Roberto spreads out and searches. Apolly searches for Rekoa. Eugene heads to a restricted area where Moir is waiting. He scans his biometrics and activates the bomb. Shelly realizes that the activation has happened. She tells his team in 30 minutes this base will go up in flames. She orders Jared to head into the base and find Moir and try to convince her and the people to evacuate. Shelly will handle the red mobile suit. Eugene tells Moir that she should make a run for it, but there still is the possibility that he might be able to deactivate it. Her mission is to ensure he doesn't do that and will wait until the very end. Eugene says, okay, let's make this interesting. He pulls out a gun and shoots himself in the head. Your move, Moir. Eugene came to play. Apolly rounds up the Titans at the command center, but their commander isn't there. Apolly sends Camille data on Rekoa's location and he goes to find her. That is when Jared spots the Mark II. Camille draws out the Marusai and the two begin fighting. They switch over to beam sabers when Camille gets the upper hand. Jared wants to continue, but he has a mission and very little time. He ejects out of his Marusai and looks for Moir. Kai and Rekoa notice that this base is still active with personnel, so why are they trying to blow it up? Rekoa realizes they plan on nuking Jaburo and pointing the blame on the AEUG. Dropping a nuke goes against that treaty no one seems to follow, and will certainly solidify the AEUG as a terrorist, and not the freedom fighters they are. The two try to break out, but just end up cutting the power. Shelly and Quattro begin fighting with beam sabers. Quattro calls out to Shelly. She is certain that Emma told him about her. He wonders why she fights as a former Spacenoid. She was once an Earth Federation soldier before, but she goes, bitch, you were too. Remember, in CDA, Char, Andy, and Roberto all joined EFF where they became Quattro, Apolly, and Ricardo. She says that dropping a colony on the planet made all of Spacenoid's ideals invalid, and she will never betray her fellow soldiers, regardless of the cause. She does a fake out and pretends to be interested before getting close and throwing the Zero Shiki. She takes out his arm with the beam saber in the process. Like a Bond villain, she spills the beans about the nuke going off. Jared is able to find Moir and tell her that she and the people need to evacuate this place, but she refuses to leave Eugene's side as this is her mission. Jared says that you look like a good woman. There's no need for you to die here. She finally agrees to work with Jared. Wait, that's it? She just needed someone to say you look like a good woman? They get to the comms and initiate an evacuation notice. She tells everyone to get to the Garuda, the Milord. Boy, if a Garuda could wear a fedora, it would be the Milord. Camille finds Rekoa and Kai and busts open the wall to set them free. Apolly informs Camille that the nuke is underground and they have to find it on foot. Rekoa asks for Kai's help and he says, once I board a ship, I am with it till the end. Which is a lie. You left White Base for a Xeon spy that fell off your gun parry. This is Quattro levels of delusion. Did you never betray anyone either? The two go to find Eugene's dead body while Camille finds Quattro fighting Shelly. Camille joins the battle and the two take on Shelly at the same time. Hot. On the Milord. Hold on, let me put a fedora on this bad boy. There we go. Jared and Moir take a moment to properly introduce themselves. Unfortunately, it skips the if you're weak, you won't survive moment in the anime.
If you're weak, you won't survive. If you're weak, you won't survive.
Jared realizes that Shelly is still on the battlefield and wants to go back for her, but they can't turn around now. The Mark II goes in and stabs the chest, taking out the control systems. Quattro goes in and stabs the Marusai in the head, killing Shelly. Wait, isn't the Marusai's cockpit in the torso? Never mind. Jared watches Shelly's blip on the radar disappear. The Zero Shiki's thrusters are wrecked and Camille can't carry his unit. Quattro tells him to take off without him. Meanwhile, Kai and Rekoa ironically find a gun cannon and a base jabber and catch up with the Garuda class. Kai was in communication with Hayato and Karaba in hopes that they could come to help. The Garuda takes off without Camille and Quattro. Back in space, two more ships break off. It is the Tunis and the Salinas. They too are working with the AEUG. They don't want to fire on the Federation forces, and neither do some of the EFF ships that Bask's fleet is in. Bask calls them traitors and they begin firing on one another. He sees that the rear support ships, the Najav and the Calcutta, are out of the battle. The battle has just commenced, and Bask went from having 11 ships to only 5 ships. He gets another message that the Titan's Granada base is also under attack. They attacked their moon base while they were still distracted with Jaburo. On the moon, Captain Maniti and the Irish is finally ready to launch. Their first mission is to destroy Granada base. Back on the Argama, Bright realizes that Bask didn't take more than a few seconds to fire on his own fleet. They were hoping this would buy them more time, but this is the type of person that they are dealing with. Even with the downed Titan ships, it is 50-50 as to whether or not they can engage and survive. Unfortunately, an Alexandria-class ship is behind them. It is the Luxor. Yazan was right about them having multiple drop points, but he never expected that some EFF ships would turn on them. Since all their mobile suits went down to Jaburo, the Argama defenses are weak. Yazan's team launches from behind and Bask's fleet launches from the front. The Titans are performing a pincer maneuver on the Argama. This isn't looking good for Bright. And that will do it for this episode. I really dig this longer, more methodical version of the Battle of Jaburo seen in the manga. Moir's hopelessness and suicidal behavior is ironically what gives her character more life. Also, the scope of AEUG has always been vague in the anime. Seeing some of EFF's ships slowly turn on the Titans shows that the AEUG's army is growing. Next time, the battle is still waging on. The Irish comes to the rescue in space, while Karaba comes to the rescue on Earth. And Jamtov will make plans to assume ultimate control. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, if you're weak, you won't survive.
If you're weak, you won't survive. If you're weak, you won't.
Peace.